Hello, gamers. Do I sound like vocally not? I'm not asking how I sound as a voice. I'm asking how I sound as an electronic signal. Am I coming through loud and clear over your cans? I mean, your headphones. You sound fine. Great. It was my worst nightmare, man. I turned on OBS and it was like, I'm not getting audio out of your microphone. Of course, it didn't say that. Instead, it just gave me a visual stimulus that was like the Winamp equalizer thing when you would listen to something on Winamp and you'd be like, oh wait, this is the Offspring. Hold on, let me go off of default and put it onto the rock EQ preset. Can you? I'm listening to Americana by Offspring. Can you crank up the mids a little bit? I want you all tattooed. I want you bad. I still do that? Come on. You know what I do? I when I'm listening to Steely Dan, I put on the audiobook preset. Because as far as I'm concerned, Gaucho is the great American novel, just set to music. How's your birthday? Is honestly good. Like, that's why we're going to play Isaac to start. I've been gone for a while, obviously. There's been arcs while I've been away. There was the pre-cruise arc, then we went on a cruise, and then we were in San Diego for 2 days, and then there was its own miniature arc, which was waking up basically on the border between the United States and Mexico, and then going to bed after driving through a blizzard, which is maybe an exaggeration, but I'm stunned. I'm stunned we got home last night. The drive normally takes about 2 hours, and it took 5.5. And I was like, whoa, that was a long time. Then when I got home, I was reading the Vancouver subreddit, and there were people making posts that were like, I've been on the bridge for 9 hours. Like, I left work at 3 p.m., and it's now midnight, and we've moved like 50 feet. And I'm like, oh, shit. Thank God. But for the grace of God go I, with a toddler and a very sleepy wife in the back of our car. Anyway, let's get started here. Also, I gotta tell you, I deprived you of something, and you can be mad about that if you want to be mad about that. I didn't bring an electric razor scooter or a razor blade onto my trip. So I had 2 weeks of unshaven face and unshaven head. I woke up extra early this morning to shave that shit off. The beard is one thing. I was really not enjoying rocking the mini Costanza. Like, I might have missed some spots, but like, look, it wasn't growing that well up here. But it was like, you know, I was starting to get those little like book, 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 like little corn stalks sticking up. But back here, oh my God, it was like I could actually like almost stroke my hair. And then I was wearing my hat everywhere because I didn't want to, like, I don't know, it just doesn't look right with the skullet. And then I was wearing my hat backwards, and I got a little triangular sunburn right here, like Naruto. Because I had the air hole, and I guess I was facing the sun, and I had the little Naruto triangle here. As Avatar? Oh yeah, whatever. I don't know. That's a tattoo? Honestly, I thought that was like a birthmark or something. We told you to apply sunscreen. I always apply sunscreen. I just forget 2 spots. If I have my hat on when I apply sunscreen, I forget like the upper area, and I forget the back of my neck. The back of my neck always gets a little bit not sunburned, but usually tanned. Cobalt, it's my first day back in like 2 weeks. You say this ignorant stuff to me. They should cast NL as Vision in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Vision's already been casted, Cobalt. He's played by the inimitable Paul Bettany, also known as one of the bad guys from the Da Vinci Code, and also a good guy from Wimbledon, the tennis romance movie starring Kirsten Dunst and, of course, Paul Bettany. You know, while I was gone, I had a great idea for a joke. Guy in classics course who doesn't listen, okay, so here's the joke. It's something like, dude, why is Oedipus always talking about his mother? This is some real, like, Siegfried and Roy shit. So the joke is that Siegfried and Roy kind of sounds like Sigmund Freud. I don't know if it's got legs. I don't know if it can work. It's getting a lot of -2s. Okay, still got it. A little rusty getting out there. It's, you know what? It's a great time to segue into the fact that I was away for a while. First we drove to our in-laws' place last Saturday. Like this Saturday before last, I guess. Talk about the fire? Listen, I'm gonna get there, okay? Don't do the Chris Pratt Tomorrow War thing where you put the sizzle reel at the start of the movie because you're worried the audience will get bored before they get to that point in the movie and turn it off, okay? Was there a fire? Yes, there was a fire, okay. Did you bring back a new Hawaiian Mickey shirt? I did. I did bring back a new Tommy Bahama shirt without any sense of irony whatsoever. It needs to be washed because I washed it, or I wore it like 5 times. Also, I was wearing that shit in San Diego. Why is San Diego full of liars? It's Southern California. That shit was cold, man. And people like in San Diego were lying to themselves. We were at the damn zoo, and people at the zoo were wearing like t-shirts, shorts, and flip-flops. It was like 9 degrees Celsius. Like, what's wrong with you? We're from Canada, and this is like, I mean, we're from Vancouver. Like, this is cold for us. Shouldn't you guys be wearing like winter coats? Like, it's crazy. I hate the zoo. What's wrong with? We haven't gotten there yet, okay? we haven't gotten to that point yet. It's not terrible. Well, it's pretty terrible for like Southern California. Like that's, you know, that's what I would expect it to be in like Seattle. Of course, then we got back to Seattle yesterday and it was like -4. But anyway, regardless, we got on the cruise. There's really not that many like cruise anecdotes. There's a lot of pressure. There's little, you know, asides, okay? Like, I would say, for example, cruise ships have got to be like the #1 place in the world for people who get in line to fill up their fountain beverage and then drink half of their fountain beverage while standing at the fountain, even though there's like 10 people in line behind them just waiting to get some damn juice. Like, it's my impression of the average person on a it's probably any buffet, but on a cruise, they get their cup, they walk up to a soda fountain, they've seen them all, but for some reason, because we're on the open ocean, you look at every single, oh, wow, they've got ginger ale in this one, that's crazy. Oh, vitamin water zero, okay. Then they get Coca-Cola Classic, because that's my stray observation is like, that's what 99% of people got anyway. They walk up to it, they fill up their cup with Coca-Cola Classic, and then despite how many people are behind them, they just go, and then they fill it up like from half to 1 or to full and then walk away. Like, I don't know if this is just I'm not saying it's an American thing. I'm saying it's a selfish person thing. But like, you know, you can't just go to the there's my deal with the devil gun too. You can't just go to the soda fountain and then be like drink 1.5 sodas when you got a line behind you. It's crazy. There's some people that like, I think they just lose their mind when they're surrounded by other people. Like, they just, and I hate to say this is my city, like, my city bias showing. You would think that it's people from like, you know, New York City are like, oh, I don't want to wait in line, get out of my way. But I feel like people that, are from cities are used to waiting in line, so when they see a line of like 10 people for something that everybody was talking about going to that day, they're like, yeah, this makes sense, let me look at my phone for a minute. And then people that are from a place where like there's never a wait for anything are the kinds of people that see the thing that they want and then a lineup of people stretching from the thing that they want to their current position, and then they tap the person in front of them on the shoulder and they go, hey, is this the line for the thing that people want to get? And then you go, yeah. And they go, whoa, it's immediately like, something organizationally is wrong. This is ridiculous. 8 people in line for popcorn 10 minutes before the movie starts? Well, they gotta open another popcorn stall, man. This is crazy. How long do you expect me to wait for popcorn? In Fayetteville, Arkansas, there's never a wait for popcorn. Just because nobody lives, there's like 3,500 people in like a little ship here. Like, the fact that you can get popcorn is crazy. That's just a little bit of the cruise annoyance that I get is always just, it's never the cruise, it's always just other people being impatient. I feel like, you know, We're in a situation, at least in Vancouver, you know, like when you go to a restaurant, they immediately disrespect you. You're like, hi, table for two, and they're like, well, that'll be 90 minutes, and you're like, that sounds right, and then you just wait in line politely looking at your phone. But if you're from a place where you never have to wait for anything, then that can be a problem. And also, can I just say, I understand where that comes from, because when I was in San Diego, oh, I did get a bomb, you're right. When I was in San Diego, I foolishly thought that because it was a Southern Californian city, because it was the 8th biggest city in the United States of America, yes, of course I read the Wikipedia article, I thought perhaps you could at least, I'm not saying you could get from the western edge to the eastern edge to the northern edge to the southern edge without a car, but I thought maybe you could get from a hotel to a restaurant, not the restaurant you want to get to, but any restaurant at all, without a car. And it turns out that that's not the case. When we landed in San Diego for for the 2 extra days that we were going to stick around, and we did stick around for that matter, we got to our hotel, and then we had to go to a UPS store, okay? We went to we looked up the UPS store. It was 1.6 miles away or something like that. To drive it, 11 minutes. Fairly reasonable. To walk it, 90 minutes. People are like, how slow do you walk? You don't understand. It's like in a car, it's like a straight line. As a pedestrian, you have to walk like on the only sidewalk that gets you like even moving in a similar direction. Then you like overshoot it. Then you get another sidewalk that like walks you back a little bit, and then there's only 3 roads that can eventually take you there, and also it's completely flat, and there's no shade, and there's no businesses on the side, and so like I did have that moment, and people in chat are, why would I pick this up? People in chat are seeing it like right now, or they're calling it, I should say. I finally understood why everyone's mad at me when I am like a little pro car. I forget that there are like extremely populous parts of the United States of America where you like literally need a car. Like it was not, we would be like, hey, we don't really want to leave the hotel tonight. Everybody's super tired, you know, like our baby's had a lot of, not a lot of stress, but like her routine's all messed up. And then we're like, okay, let's look at restaurants in our area. And it was like, well, there's a restaurant in the hotel. And if you don't want to eat there, well, you can rent a car. So that's what we did. We rented a car. We rented a Chevy Spark. It's a $13,000 compact sedan. I didn't even know, and I don't mean this to be insulting, I didn't know they made cars that cheap. Despite the car being $13,000, renting it was $65 US a day, plus $15 a day for the car seat so that our baby didn't experience like a horrific injury in the event that we were plowed into by one of the myriad like Ford F450s on the road that were offended by my mere existence. So it ended up being like, I don't know, $250 to rent this Chevy Spark for 3 days. It has 98 horsepower. We were paying like $3 a horsepower. Uber? Well, here's the thing. Uber apparently, and I don't necessarily blame Uber for this, but if you need a car seat, you can't do Uber unless you're in like New York or something. Uber has like a car seat option. I don't expect the Uber drivers to like take on the risk of making sure that their car seats are installed properly and the babies are like adequately restrained. It just seems like too much. So I'm like, that's just something you get when you have a kid. I can understand that. You got to get a travel car seat. Honestly, I'm learning a lot. I didn't even know that this stuff existed. I was like, there's no... I mean, now, honestly, I'm like rental car pilled. Once we got the rental car, I was like, we're driving everywhere. It was... I was actually like, this is... Except for the $200 cost, this is mighty convenient. And except for the fact that every time I have to get on the highway, which, by the way, apparently freaking San Diego is all highways. Who knew? You leave our hotel and it's like, get on Pacific Highway, get on I-5, get on Highway 1, get on like, just driving to like the corner store, you're hitting like 7 freeways. Every time I get on the highway, the Chevy Spark, listen, okay, when you're going up like an urban road, you're like, you feel downright European in this tiny car. You're like, oh, I'm having an Emily in Paris moment right now. When you get on the highway, no joke. You can see Kate's tweet if you want to fact check this, although you might not consider it an unbiased source. We get on the highway, right? I got my foot to the fucking floor trying to get the Chevy Spark to get up to highway speeds, which apparently are like, it's the Autobahn. So I go, the whole car's shaking. It's like 6 inches off the ground, so whenever there's like a pebble on the road, the whole car shakes like it's going over a speed bump. We merge onto the highway. 4 motorcyclists sharing a lane, driving side by side, are adjacent to us on the highway. And the whole time Kate's going like, oh my god, this is like, this car is so scary. This, like, this road is so scary. The motorcycle's right next to our window. And then the dude does like a 75-degree wheelie right next to our driver's side window. And he's like looking back at his friends, like, check out my sick wheelie. And we're like, this is, what the hell is going on in San Diego, man? Then he like sped ahead. And he took one hand off the handlebar and he was like hanging off the back of his motorcycle, holding his iPhone, like filming his friends riding the motorcycles. I was like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy. Anyway, yes, the cruise ship did light on fire. There was a, so it was, I'll set the stage for you. It was Pirate Night, okay? Pirate Night, this was not on the first cruise we went on, but it's a night where everybody dresses like a pirate. And then they have like a little show with a song and dance, and then at the end of it, Captain Jack Sparrow comes out on a zip line, and they play the dun dun da da dun dun da da dun dun da da da. Anyway, say no more. Yeah, just a classic, you know, that old standard pirate night regalia. So we're dressed like pirates, you know. We're hanging out on the deck. I'm holding my baby on my shoulder. There's kids everywhere. Everyone's dressed like a pirate. They're doing dances on the stage. They're going like, hey, hoist the sails, ducka, 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 swab the deck, ducka, ducka, ducka. And then they're like, we have a special guest. I'm not gonna do what they did, which was bury the lead. I'm just gonna tell you, as always, the special guest is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse comes out in pirate regalia. He has several friends with him, including Chip and Dale, Goofy, etc., etc. They go out on the stage, and they're doing their dance, and they're playing the little, you know, the stuff they gotta play to get people excited, and so on and so forth. And then everybody starts to, like, sniff. We're going, and we're smelling something that, like, isn't quite right, you know? But we just, like, you smell lots of funny stuff on a cruise ship. Most of it is just the other patrons that happen to be there. But, we just start to be like, this is like, because they do fireworks, so we're like, oh, maybe that's like the smell of the fireworks getting revved up or whatever. And then there's like maybe like a 12-year-old girl with her friend was next to me, and she pointed up at the steam stack, the exhaust manifold of the cruise ship, and she said, hey, look, there's a fire. And I kind of looked, you know, I have like my baby on my shoulder, my toddler on my shoulder. I kind of looked and I was like, oh yeah, look at that, that is a fire. I just assumed it was like, you know, part of the show. Like, it's pirate night. Let's get the torches or something like that. I don't know. You know, like there's fire in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And then it just kept going like, kept getting like stronger and stronger. And then when shit got crazy, when I knew this shit was real, nobody talked to us at all. But I saw Disney cruise staff like rush the stage and be like, get Mickey off the stage, get Mickey, hey guys, come this way. And they like got all the Disney characters and like rushed them into like a back tunnel. Meanwhile, there's like 1,000 people on the deck just sitting there staring at the fire. I was like, they will let us die in a heartbeat. As soon as they say like Mickey Mouse gets the Secret Service treatment, like that's when I don't want to say like that I had the appropriate response, because maybe I overreacted. But like as soon as they rushed Mickey Mouse off the stage, I got a bad feeling about it. I was like, something's not right. So you know, I don't want to say that it was like a force majeure situation, but I had my baby on my shoulder and I was like, I don't want to be close to the fire. So we like moved away from the fire. And then they made an announcement. They're like, just so you know, there's a fire. But people were like, I feel like I kind of, pardon me, I feel like I kind of like lost a little faith in humanity. Because I was only concerned with like, I didn't think we were going to die. But there was definitely like 10 minutes where I was like, we're gonna have to get on the lifeboats. So I was starting to move towards, you know, like our muster station. I didn't think that if they had any option, I don't think the Disney Corporation would allow us to die because it would be terrible for their stock price. I think they would rather have me die than Mickey Mouse for sure. But as long as Mickey's safe, I think like everybody else on the ship, you're in good hands. You know, they go through like safety drills. Not to say something couldn't happen, but you know, if they can save you, they're gonna save you, right? I was starting to move towards my muster station, and everybody else around me, they were just going like, oh man, I wonder when Pirate Night's gonna restart. And I'm like, you idiots are still concerned about Pirate Night? They're gonna shoot off like 8 fireworks and be like, pew! And you're just gonna like clap like a damn fool. Everybody's so concerned. I got my pirate outfit on. Yeah, you could fucking like die in your pirate outfit. God has a sense of humor, right? Like, I did see there was like when I was walking towards the muster station, there was like one girl who was like frozen like this, like her body was like rigid, and her dad was just like stroking her shoulders, like trying to calm her down. And I'm like, finally, one other person is like giving the situation its due diligence, right? Like probably her dad was like, don't worry, honey, it's Pirate Night. And she's like, there's a fire on the ship and we're in the ocean. Don't worry, honey, it's Pirate Night. Captain Jack Sparrow, remember? No, this is not like I almost died. It was more like, I was just amazed at like how many people were more concerned. Like we were on a floating hotel in the ocean and there was a visible fire like 11 stories up that was raging. And people were like, ooh, are they still gonna do the fireworks? You're like, just give them some time. Anyway, they did still do the fireworks 2 days later, but they did not, and people were a little upset. They did not do the rest of Pirate Night. They're like, we have to cancel Pirate Night. People were like, aww, but I put on this pirate costume and took pictures with my whole family. What a waste. I didn't even get to see someone dressed up as Captain Jack Sparrow. Anyway, we didn't die, but there was a fire. There was like a news story about it too. But it wasn't on like normal news websites. It was because I searched it when I came back. It was on like Cruise News Weekly. It wasn't on like, you know, CNN.com. Although I did see when I was Googling to see if it made the news at all, I did see a story about a guy on a different cruise ship last week. Apparently he got reprimanded continuously for vaping in places he wasn't supposed to vape in. And he was very heavily intoxicated. He went overboard and wasn't reported being gone for like 18 hours because I guess he's just like used to that. Or his family is used to him just being away in a confined space, even though it doesn't make any sense. So eventually they put out the man overboard signal. They found that dude treading water in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico 15 hours after he fell off the ship. Dude was hammered and he treaded water for 15 hours to stay alive. This is a Herculean will to live. That's crazy. Not to mention he was hammered. Like I can't even believe it. That dude really wanted to live and continue to not follow the rules or whatever. He probably sobered up pretty quick. Yeah, honestly, I think like an 8-story fall into the Gulf of Mexico would probably wake you up. But can you imagine, like, there was probably like 10 minutes where he was like really scared, and then like 15 minutes where he was like, dude, this is gonna be such a funny story, and then like 13 and a half hours where he was like, this fucking sucks, dude, I'm gonna die. I bet for like half an hour, though, he was like, this is going to be a great story. And it is. I don't know about for him, though. So anyway, that was mostly, like, I just had a relaxing time, honestly. And then increasingly, like, you know, realized that, I'm not saying better than other people, but just different from other people. You know, I got 2 impressions of people on a cruise. One was the fountain drinks, just slurping the fountain drinks while you're in line for, or while you're at the fountain that other people are in line for. The other one is, here's my impression of the average person on the last day of a cruise. Oh man, there's so many sick people around. Why do I always get sick on cruises? Where's all the... Why, dude, what is going on? These things are like infectious disease trap. Yeah, sure, let's go to the buffet. Kids going... Hey, kid, go cough in that kid's face. I'm on the bus like 2 days ago, coming back from the ship to the airport. There's like a 50-year-old man behind me just going... and talking about, he's like, man, I'm so sick. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go to work tomorrow. Hey, shithead, maybe like when you're... I'm not asking you to wear it 100% of the time. Maybe you could like wear a mask. I know you got one. When you're openly talking about being sick in a confined space with people like all over the world. That are then gonna get on an airplane and go back to like their own countries and states and stuff like that. A whole flight yesterday too, like, you know, 3 60-year-olds in the row behind me. No masks. And then a bunch of healthy people all masked up. We gotta figure out how to get a little of Group B into Group A. A bunch of people with masks on just going, you know, like breathing easy, and sick people who are like, well, why would I wear a mask? I'm already sick. Idiot. And don't even get me started. I don't know how many times I've made the same tweet. Waiting in line. This is the first time we'd flown since COVID. So since May 2019, which is like not that long, but is long enough to like forget about some of the things about flying. They make announcements so clearly. I mean, like, the speakers are not always great, but they're always insanely loud. Everybody's like right at the gate anyway, like watching the person making the announcement. Hey, we now invite people with mobility issues or people with young children under the age of 2 who need extra time to board. Hey, here's my boarding pass. I'm sitting in seat 45C. I'm just wondering, I know this is the first announcement you've made, and I heard every word of it. I was just wondering if I could get on the airplane. You can't. You just gotta wait your turn. I know this is a foreign concept for a lot of people. You know why it takes so long is because there's a lot of people that, firstly, again, I know it's unusual, but when a lot of people are trying to do the same thing, it takes longer for you to do it. But then on top of that, the gate agents are constantly reckoning with people who are like, hey, can I get on the plane? And you're like, no, if you listen to the announcement, we specifically said, like, this is Group 1, and you're Group Z. Come on, man. Come on. Hey, sir, could you please go sit down in your seat until we call Group 5? Okay, I know that you said sit down in your seats. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand beside the line of people that are supposed to be on the airplane. I'm just going to stand beside that line in another informal line, clogging up the whole airport for no reason when I could just be sitting in a chair, leaving ample space for people to, like, drag their suitcases through and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy, man. It's insane. Just, but you know what? It actually loops around to, like, driving home yesterday. It's just, there's a lot of people who are very considerate, and then there's, I don't know, maybe like 20% of the population who just, they're like, fuck it, it's my turn. It's my turn because I want it to be my turn. Because we were driving home last night, there was like, you know, 5 centimeters of snow on the road. Just not that bad, but the roads were like a little, like, fucked up in Vancouver yesterday. Like, I'm someone in chat, I saw you say that you were stuck on the Alex Fraser Bridge for 5 hours yesterday. That doesn't just mean that, like, you might be like, oh, it took him 5 hours to get home. No, it took him 5 hours to get over, like, a bridge that's probably like 300 meters long, right? Like, it was messed up yesterday. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm driving. The speed limit is 90 to 110 kilometers an hour. I'm going 40 kilometers an hour. I grew up driving in the snow. I'm not saying I'm the greatest driver of all time, but I understand the physics of it. I'm following the tire tracks of the car that's in front of me. I've given them a lot of space. Anytime I lose a bit of traction, I know you look where you want to go. You apply the throttle, like, steadily, and everybody's just trying to not hit anybody else and get where we need to go. One very slow convoy in the slow lane, And then in the left lane, every once in a while, someone would just be like, this is too fucking slow. And then they would get in the passing lane where there's no tire tracks. It's just snow. And they would hit the gas and they'd fishtail. And then they'd be like, oh shit, I'm not cut out for this. And then they would try to move back into the lane that they just left and lose even more control. And you're like, man, just be patient. Like, just, you don't understand. Like, I think that inside of you're either, let me rephrase. I think you're either a Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic or you're a Billy Zane. And whatever you are, just for the record. Like, I don't know if it's easy to change that. I know that I'm a Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think that most people are as well. It's not that I'm saying, like, I don't want to live. It's more like, hey, we're all in this together. Let's help out where we can. I'm going to give you enough space so that if you have to hit the brakes, I'm not going to crash into you. I want the guy behind me to give me enough space so that he's not going to crash into me. And then there's some people that are like Billy Zane that are like, oh, it's taking me so long to get home. I got to be home. And then they're like, fuck you. And then they like spin out into the median and block both lanes of traffic. And then everybody takes 14 hours to get home instead of like 2 hours. Like I saw a lot of posts on our Vancouver that were like, hey, if you go slow, the roads aren't that bad, which is true. Then I saw a few posts that were like, I saw so many people driving like grandmas. If you're not confident driving in the snow, don't drive. Hey, idiot, maybe like you're overconfident in the snow. Like you're so close to having a modicum of self-awareness. Maybe the 90% of traffic that's driving, slowly is because they want to be safe, and your ass that's inconvenienced by like a once-a-year weather event is the one that's actually in the wrong. But no, whatever. Yeah, we went to the San Diego Zoo. You ever notice how the zoo, and the San Diego Zoo is kind of like amazing, by the way. It's huge, lots of animals, lots of opportunities to buy snacks as well. You ever notice how going to the zoo is kind of like a big Where's Waldo episode? Like you just walk around in a huge park trying to find an animal that's on a sign. I don't know if it's just because we went on like a cold day, but like, don't get me wrong, I saw some amazing things. I saw the gorillas. I love seeing the gorillas. The gorillas were squatting, and then the trainer was throwing them like a whole cabbage. They were like free-handing it, and then just eating a whole cabbage in like 2 bites. And then sometimes they'd throw them some shit they weren't that interested in. They'd be like, here's a carrot, and they would just let that shit like hit the floor. And they probably picked it up later, but like, they were like, the cabbage, all like, snatch that. We'll go Daryl Strawberry on that. Everything else, just let it hit the damn grass. Saw a red panda, it was very cute. Saw some giraffes, majestic. Saw some elephants, very cool. But also, like, some of the stuff we went there for, I get it. Like, I feel like there was probably, like, in the 50s, if you went to a zoo, there was, like, a dude with an electric whip or something, like a cattle prod, that was like, the people paid to see the tiger, they're going to see the tiger. And then we've entered a much more, like, empathetic age where they're like, the tiger is sleeping right now, even though it's rush hour. So you might not get a chance to see him, even though you paid the entry fee. But we had, like, a lot of that. It was like, this is where the tiger lives. Is the tiger here? Oh, no. He sleeps 17 hours a day. He comes out at 1 a.m. after the zoo's closed. We're like, oh, wow. I could just imagine what a tiger would look like in this area right here. They gotta, I guess what I'm trying to say is they gotta give them, like, less enclosures and, like, that are based around their normal environment. And just, what about, like, a flat cage? Just, like, a flat cage with 4 walls and bars, so there's nowhere for them to rest. And then they just... So I'm joking! All I'm trying to say is that Joe Exotic, while not a good guy, might have had some good... I'm just trying to suggest that if you're maximizing for zoo enjoyment and not animal... hey, Naruto AMV from 2007, thanks for the gifted subscriptions, thank you. I don't know if this is like too local pilled, I guess, but if you've ever been to the San Diego Zoo, I just got like one piece of feedback. Maybe you could get rid of the 45,000 plaques that are like, this place was sponsored by, and this is the stick bug exhibit only exists due to the generosity of the Gold Corp, and maybe just like have like some trees or something. Like, it's not... I get the idea that you need to thank the sponsors, But like at the same time, I was getting a little crazy. It's like every 2 steps, there's like 100 stones that are like, this was provided by, you know, Rio Tinto. Also, I don't want to put this lady on blast, okay? It's my birthday. I'm at the zoo. I wanted some popcorn, okay? I go up to the popcorn stand. I say, hey, can I get some popcorn? Lady says, sure, that'll be $10.34. I said, really? And she said, yeah, it comes in a souvenir bucket, and there's free refills. And I said, okay, listen, I'm not really a free refill sort of guy, but it is my birthday. For the most part, I'm like, I probably shouldn't be eating this in the first place. So free refills just seems, like, unnecessary. So I didn't tell her it's my birthday. This was my internal dialogue. I ate the popcorn. I gave the baby some popcorn. And then I said, you know what? Might as well. We're at the zoo for a long time. This thing is huge. I'm going to get some more popcorn, and then we'll have lunch later, right? I go up to another snack stall with my souvenir bucket, and I said, hey, I'll take some more popcorn, please. She punches some stuff in on the cash register that I thought was like, you know, inventory or something, and then she says, that'll be $2.34. I guess we have different definitions of free. I'm not saying I'm going to sue the San Diego Zoo for false advertising or something, but it is not free refills. It is heavily discounted refills, but it is not free. Did you push back on that? No, she was like 14 years old. I mean, it's still a pretty good deal, honestly. I mean, they got you on like it's like a sales technique, right? You just paid $10.34 for some popcorn. Are you really not going to re-up at an 80% discount? Like, that's, of course, they have me by the balls, man. Plus your toddler's going, Daddy, I want more popcorn. Like, what are you going to do? It's $2.34. Yeah, I folded. I tipped 50% after. I didn't tip. I didn't. I thought about it. George would have said no. Yeah, you're aware, I'm sure, that George he's like the neurotic id of Seinfeld. He's not like the hero necessarily. The hero is obviously Jerome Seinfeld. The id is not neurotic. Bro, like, it's part of your neurons. Like, it's some Siegfried and Roy shit. We brought it back. I knew it. Anyway, also, for all the negativity, I had an amazing time. The only thing that everywhere we went was pretty great. It's just the people that were there. Sometimes I was like 95% of people. I was like, you seem like normal people, and then like 5% of people, I was like, you know, grow up. Does anybody else think it's possible that maybe parts of the United States of America have too much freedom? Like when I was at this San Diego airport, I was like, I'm gonna get some lunch. I bought a chicken Caesar salad from like a food stall, and right next to the cash register, they just had tall cans of like double IPAs, and I was like, whoa, this should not be allowed. For you to be able to just buy like your own alcohol before you board the airplane, just from like a little cash register, and then I was like, this should not be legal. Yes, I will take one, thank you. And then you know what? I bought the can. And then she said, just so you know, we have to put the can in a cup. Like, I don't know if something happened where, like, somebody bought a bunch of cans and then smuggled them onto the airplane and then tried to get drunk on their own alcohol on board instead of at the gate. Like, I can't imagine what situation led this rule to come to pass, but she was like, hey, I hope this is okay. I can't give you the can. I'm gonna have to put this in a cup for you. I was like, oh shit, so I gotta drink this shit faster and get, like, drunker faster? Instead of holding the can until I'm ready to drink it and drinking it at my own pace after I finish my lunch? Okay, sure, that sounds like common sense philosophy. It's so you don't collect them in your carry-on. But like, it's just like weird to me because like you're getting drunk either way. What does it matter if you pay $6.50 for a tall can and then like drink it on the airplane versus paying $6.50 for a tall can and smuggling it onto the airplane in your tummy, right? Like it's the same. You got to work on your titrations or something. The airlines want the money for alcohol on the plane. Well, then they shouldn't sell the beer in the airport then. You could turn the can into a knife. Okay, listen, that is the other thing. I'm so happy to be home and like to be trusted enough to use plastic knives or metal knives again. I'm so over like using butter knives to cut everything. I get on the cruise, they don't want to give people knives, okay? But like, it was... even some places, I think when we went to the Mexican restaurant, they only gave me a steak knife to cut my carne asada. If I hadn't ordered carne asada, they would just have given me the butter knife. And I'm like, dude, I promise you, I'm good for it. I've used steak knives before in my life. I can handle it. Usually you can ask for one. That's crazy. I'm not used to asking for stuff. You can ask for a sharper knife? I don't need a Bowie knife to cut tortillas. I'm just saying, like, why not have, like, the steak knife be the default? Meanwhile, they're serving my 2-year-old in, like, an actual, like a pint glass. Like a pint glass of chocolate milk. I'm like, she's gonna turn this shit into, like, a deadly weapon. It's more expensive to have all steak knives. Here we go. Oh, we could... The restaurant... Hey, listen. That's the price you pay when you get 2 portions of food for 1.6 times the price of a normal portion. Won't somebody think of the restaurant? Hey, simply serve less food. No, never. It could not happen. Not possibly. I'm sorry. I can feed you 3,700 calories of food from all around the world, cooked by expert chefs for $9. What I cannot do is give you a steel knife that could actually cut through flesh. Did you say sorry? I said sorry. I think that I said sorry so much in America that people thought there was something wrong with me. Like in Canada, when you say sorry to somebody, even when it's their fault, the default reply back is sorry. In America, I would always get something like, "You're good, buddy." Like it's all like vaguely sort of like they're mad at me for suggesting that I would possibly, even at my best, could even inconvenience them. Like I would like maybe bump into somebody. I say sorry. They're like, "Don't worry about it, brother." You're like, "Oh, I wasn't trying to say like I'm not apologizing because like I think I'm better than you. It's just they're being nice." I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think they were saying like, you don't have the stones. Bro, I'm never inconvenienced by anything, bro. I'm never inconvenienced by any, okay, maybe there is a problem with me. I will say, I did feel like when I met people on the ship that were from like the American Midwest, they were very polite. Now, I responded to their politeness with politeness, but in my head I was like, the most polite thing would be if you learned how to cue respectfully instead of constantly trying to cut in line. But it is nice that you're telling me how cute my daughter is and like how old is she? 2? Oh, I knew it. Well, then why didn't you guess? Etc. etc. Or they, and I don't, again, this is not an American thing. This is just this is a worldwide thing, I'm sure. How about this? You're in a building, okay? Essentially, the elevator's got 9 floors. People get in on floor 3, push 6, goes up 3 floors, bing, floor 6. The doors open up. Where are we? Is this the floor that we pushed? What's going? And you're like trying to get on the elevator and they're like, huh? Is this floor? It says there's a 6 on the wall. There's a 6 above the elevator. There's a 6 like outside of the elevator. It says, welcome to floor 6. Then like they, don't even start with me, man. Started taking the damn stairs. I was going up from floor 2 to floor 9 at 6:45 a.m. every day to get to the breakfast buffet before people took all the damn hash browns. People eating 5 hash browns is like 32 strips of bacon for breakfast. You can't even, don't have the mental clarity to get out the elevator. They're so greased up. Shit's driving me crazy, man. Anyway, I had a great time though. I mean, like, being a toddler actually owns. Except for the part where you poop in your own pants. Which is, like, one of the worst parts of being a toddler, for sure. Like, my 2-year-old's life, they go to bed early. The people they love most in the world read them as many bedtime stories as they want. All their meals are cooked for them. They don't have any responsibilities. They don't do any cleaning or anything like that. They go to daycare now and then, increasingly rarely during cold and flu season. And half the time at daycare, they're just with their best friends. Oh, what a boring day at daycare. It's just me and like the only 10 other people my age I know, and nobody has like any big problem is like, oh, Susie wants to play with my dinosaur, but I don't want her to play with the dinosaur today. Half the time though, you go on a field trip to like some shit you've never seen before that blows your mind. Like, holy cow, we're at the damn library. Look at all these books, brother. This is crazy. How much is a library? It must be so expensive to go to the library. It must be like the most amount of money I could possibly conceive of. $15. It's free? You're under the delusion that the world is just an incredible place designed for your own amusement. So honestly, it's worth the price of the cruise just to experience what life is like as a toddler. And you know, there's a huge difference too. Like, I'm not a fool. When I'm on a Disney cruise and, you know, people are like smiling at me saying, "Good morning, sir. Great weather. Of course, the weather on board is always great, isn't it, sir?" I'm like, I understand the situation. We're all in like, I'm being nice to you, you're being nice to me, but also I know there's like a comment card that comes on the last day, and if someone ever called me like a motherfucker, Disney would throw them overboard like the next time they got to a port or something like that just to make me happy. You know what, the cruise survey on the last day, here's how much of a god complex this corporation has. It says, how was the weather on your cruise? Would you say it was excellent, very good, good, okay, or not acceptable, or not applicable? I don't ever want to hit that one. It's like, I just hit excellent, because I'm like, I don't know what I expect you to do about it, honestly. I'm not really sure what I guess like you could put up like more umbrellas. Like, it was very windy. I'm not sure if you can do something about that, but oh yeah, by the way, we were in Mexico for a while. I feel bad because we did a very like North American tourist version of Mexico. We got off the boat in Cabo San Lucas. We went on a boat tour and a bus tour, and then we got back on the cruise ship. But I was stunned. No disrespect. I don't think anybody here probably lives in Cabo San Lucas. What is going on? So we were walking through Cabo San Lucas with our 2-year-old daughter. We walked past this. First off, I didn't know this is not a joke. At a Mexican pharmacy, you don't need a prescription for fucking anything. You don't need a prescription for anything. There's a pharmacy every 3 stores. Anabolic steroids, boner pills, hair loss medication. We were joking because there's guys, like there's pictures of like Ronnie Coleman flexing on the front of the pharmacy, and there's dudes trying to like sell you steroids while you walk by. We walked by one and the guy was like, "You will look like this in 2 weeks." I'm like, you promise? Anyway, we were laughing because Kate said, "Do you want anything?" And I said, "Well, maybe if I get food poisoning, I can just get some antibiotics down here instead of waiting 12 hours at the BC emergency room." We walked past another pharmacy. On the sign, it says, "We have ciprofloxacin," which was the fucking exact antibiotic that they eventually prescribed me in order to save my life, but I had to go through like 3 weeks of like means testing to make sure I really wanted it. So I swear to you, if I ever get food poisoning that bad again, I might just get Kate like a round trip ticket to Puerto Vallarta or something like that. Land, go to the airport pharmacy, get like 2 weeks worth of ciprofloxacin, get back on the plane and come back. It's probably like a 5-hour flight, 2 ways. We'd spend 10 hours at the emergency room anyway to begin with. Like, you might as well just enjoy yourself. Maybe get like a margarita or something at the airport. Also, we walked past a store and they were selling tourist merch. It was, you know, every tourism-friendly city has this, you know, shirt that's like, "I went to Cabo San Lucas, all I got is this fucking t-shirt," or whatever. Vancouver's got them too. It has like a fucking polar bear on it. It says like, "Oh, you know, yeah, I'm into fitness, hold pizza in my mouth in Vancouver, BC, Ketchikan, Alaska, etc., etc." This one, first off, it had a sign that said, "Relax, you're on the fun side of Trump's wall." And I said, "Ha, clever." I'm sure they've been riding that one for like, 7 years at this point. Then they had a scarf, and the scarf said, "Show me your tits." And I said, "What? What kind of business are you running here? Is a scarf that says, 'Show me your tits'?" And then right next to that was a scarf that said, "I have a baby dick." I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I think I was not having a great time in Cabo San Lucas. And I want to be clear, it's not because of Cabo San Lucas. I'm sure it's because the kind of people that go to Cabo San Lucas are like, "Hey, I'd love to look at that cool scarf, dude, that says 'Show me your tits.'" The city is probably changed to match the people that are doing spring break there. So as a result, I was like, this is not for me. Yeah, I bought their whole stock. And some antibiotics. I knew something was not right when we, docked in Cabo San Lucas, and every restaurant was called, Donkey Dicks! Tequila Joe's! cactus balls. Like every single one was just like a restaurant that you would like see in Las Vegas and be like, oh, this is not a place for me with a family. This is like free mezcal tasting, 9:15 a.m. You're like, oh, okay. Come to Senor Frogs. We've got the biggest titted waitresses in all of Cabo. I just went on the back on the boat, went to the buffet, honestly. And of course, wouldn't you know it, I want to go swimming in the damn, at the beach, right? I try to take my baby out into the water, but she's not a baby anymore, but you get the idea. She's like, I'm scared, I don't like the water. Like the waves are kind of crashing into her, she's getting a little scared. This is not a joke, also. I know I feel like I'm saying that a lot. I'm like, oh, finally. Like, hey, Kate, can you take her for a second? I'm just going to go for a little swim. I like swimming. I'm an okay swimmer. I give the baby to my wife, take off my glasses, get in the water. 2, like, strokes out. I hear lifeguard whistles. And then I shit you not, I hear, Ryan! Ryan, come back! And then I'm like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? I don't have my glasses on. I got like a mouthful of salt water. I'm going, coming back. Like, is there a shark out there or something like that? I walk onto the beach and there was just like nothing was going on. And I said, Kate, what happened? As soon as I got out there, people started, like the lifeguard was like, come back. They were saying, Ryan, come back. She was like, oh yeah, some other guy named Ryan apparently got into a kayak without a life jacket on. So they had to like get him to come back. Come on, man. I'm just trying to get a damn dip. I didn't want to go back out in the water after that. I'm like, it's too... the situation's still active. Typical Ryan behavior. She wants to have chocolate milk. I'm not sure if you can hear that. They were also playing Strange World like crazy. But I didn't see that either. It's hard to see a... It's hard to see a movie with a little kid. Like, there's shows every night on the cruise. So we took her to see the Golden Mickeys, which is like a musical performance of lots of songs from Disney classics. You want to see Daddy? You want Daddy to pick you up? You can come see Daddy if you want. Come here. Come see Daddy. Oh. Oh. Honey, can you say hi to Chad? Can you say hi, Chad? Hey, what did we do last week? Were we in Mexico? She doesn't want to talk to me right now. That's okay. I just want to show off how smart you are, honey. You want chocolate milk? You might need to wait until Daddy's time today to get some chocolate milk. You don't want to wait?
I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want juice?
No.
But Mommy worked so hard to get you that juice. Honey, can I tell you, your hair looks amazing today. Oh, I know, honey. When Daddy takes over, we can get you some chocolate milk, okay? Hey, honey. Maybe we can also get you a pretzel or a pepperoni pizza. Okay. I'm not stealing the glory. I'm just, I'm just trying to distract her from the fact that she's milkless right now. Anyway. I wouldn't actually give her a pretzel or a pepperoni pizza. She just likes the way Daddy's cheeks look when I go blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. She had a great time at the Golden Mickeys. Oh, she got a little scared sometimes. Every time there's a PA announcement, she's just like her father. She goes, I don't like the emergency. And I'm like, it's not always an emergency. That was really just the fire. It was just It was just Pirate Night when the announcement went off and said, everybody please go to either the rear or the front of the ship. Every other announcement is usually like, the Golden Mickeys will start in 2 minutes. But then we took her to see Like, on the cruise ship, there was a juggler slash guy who thought he was really funny. And I don't know, I didn't see the show, to not bury the lead. But we took her to see this juggler, right? She doesn't like loud noises right now. So this guy gets on stage. We're like trying to calm her down. He gets on stage. How you guys doing tonight? I can't hear you. How you guys doing tonight? Okay, I'm gonna balance some stuff like on my face. I want you to cheer as loud as you think I deserve. And then he balanced like a golf club on his chin, and people were like, woo! Then he pulled out a deck chair, put it in his mouth, and was like, and they were going crazy. And she was going, it was so cute. She was sitting next to her 7-year-old cousin, my niece, and she was just shouting her name. Her name is not Esmeralda, but let's just pretend it is. She was going, Esmeralda! Esmeralda! And like just reaching her arms out, like, save me! And then this dude put a 12-foot ladder on his teeth and was balancing it out, like on the stage, and she went crazy. So we just took her out because it was not gonna get any better than that. But then we went to another show, like we went to the Frozen performance. She was enraptured the whole time. Her name was Zelda. Come see daddy. Hi honey. Show everybody how cute you look in your winter coat. Hi, can you say hi, Chad? Where were we last week? Where did we go? Were we on a ship? I understand.
She's hungry.
Need some chocolate milk.
I want chocolate milk.
You're gonna go buy some chocolate milk with mommy? What else are you gonna buy at the grocery store? You gonna buy some more food?
Yeah, for me.
Do you want something for me to get from the grocery store?
Just some cold brew, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Here you go. You look like a little snowman. So cute. Like on the walk back, it was, not the walk back, the drive back, it was crazy. Like, in the US, it was totally fine. They didn't have that much snow going on. As soon as we crossed the border, it was like being in the North Pole, basically unplowed. And then like every different part of the drive back was like a new level. It was like teaching you how to play a new video game. Like we crossed the border and it was like, guess what? There's snow on the ground now. Then we made it to Swassen, and it was like, hey, now we're introducing other drivers that don't know what they're doing. Then we made it to Delta, and they're like, okay, now every single highway off-ramp has a 5-kilometer long line to exit, and all of the bridges that allow you to cross the Fraser River are gone. And you're like, okay, how am I going to get home then? You made it to Richmond, and you're like, okay, all that shit, but now it's 2 lanes and it's packed. Then we made it to Vancouver, and it was like, there were like jackknifed semi-trucks just blocking the road. People abandoned their cars like in the middle of the street and stuff like that. I was very grateful, like when we got home without incident. I lost traction a couple times, but I was going slow enough that it's like, you know, you just recover and you got space. But then like when I got home, I was like, I'm very grateful and very thankful. Then I checked r/Vancouver, and I was like even more thankful because people, like I said earlier, some people had anecdotes where they're like, oh, my kid's school bus has been trapped on this bridge for 8 hours. Like they left school at 2:30, it's now almost midnight and they're not home yet. And I'm like, man, that's like, I don't know what you do in that situation, because you can't, I don't know, unless you got like a fucking Zeppelin. It's not like you can really like fly over and get them. I don't know what you, and like there were times like we were driving northbound to come from the US to back to Canada, and we would like drive past an incident. There'd be like 4 semi-trucks like all jackknifed in front of each other, and then you just look and you drive for like 10 kilometers and you see the traffic being impacted by this. Full like city buses that are like, you know, here's the destination I'm going to, nobody's moving at all. Man, it was... okay, you're ready to pop up again, huh? I was just like, man, I can't imagine being on that bus right now and being like, I wonder how long we're gonna be here. And I'm like, I don't even want to... I kind of want to just, like, open my window and just be like, just go to sleep. Like, you might be here for, like, 10 hours. I don't see how they can get through and, like, resolve it. We don't have... Like, okay, listen. You should have winter tires. We have winter tires. Like, in the first week of October, we're like, let's get our winter tires put on. The first appointment we could get for them from the place that has our winter tires stored was the first week of December. And we, like stupid idiots, were like, oh, it usually doesn't snow in Vancouver until January. But whenever people are like, you know, obviously that didn't work out, but whenever people are like, you know, oh, this is why you need winter tires, you're like, yeah, I've got winter tires. They're just like, you know, I don't have the capacity to, like, get them on fast enough. You got to get them put on in, like, the last week of August or something like that. Winter tires in Vancouver are not the law. It's a contentious issue whether or not they should be, because it only gets like this, like, 1 day a year. I'm happy we have winter tires, especially because sometimes we go up north where they are required. But, like, I can see why people are like, I don't want to spend, like, you know, $500 on these winter tires and use them for 1 day, when I could just work remotely. I'm not trying to be, like, a hater, but, like, I'm not the world's best driver. I made it home just fine with non-winter tires. This is a foreign concept for drivers in a lot of places, but especially in Vancouver, I think. You just have to not be an asshole. It's not to say that you're, like, 100% insulated, but you have to, like, you know, you have to drive, like, not a total shithead. Like, you have to drive half of the speed limit. You have to give people space. You have to, you know, understand that what normally takes 30 minutes might take 2 hours. And then, you know, if that annoys you, then don't drive unless you absolutely have to. Maybe I am the world's best driver. I mean, I made it home last night. Oh, don't even get me started on the people that, like, their cars were parked outside all night and they don't brush the snow off the top of their car. Then they go, zoom, they get in front of you on the highway, slam on the brakes, speed up really fast, all the snow goes onto your windshield. Or the cars that you see, like, they're in front of you on the highway and their rear windshield is just completely covered in snow. You're like, how are you driving like that? Isn't that illegal? Yeah, but, like, you know, the roads are so busted the cops can't catch you. It's like, it's the purge, man. It's the highway purge. There were a couple of times. We made it home. It was relatively uneventful. It was just slow and surreal to see so much traffic, like, ditched. And we had to, like, you know, make some, not unsafe maneuvers, but we would have to be like, oh, there's nobody on the road right now. But the lanes we're supposed to drive in are completely blocked because of jackknife semis, so I'm going to drive in the oncoming lane for, like, you know, 200 meters or something like that. But, like, there's literally nobody else on the road. There were a couple of times, like, on the highway around Delta, some of the like, Richmond exits and stuff like that, I was like, we should have just stayed at a hotel. Like, this is... When we were in Washington, I was like, this shit is not bad at all. People are being babies. This is nothing. Then when we crossed the border, I was like, oh, shit. This is... And the thing is, like, you got to make that decision before you get there. Because once you're on the road, it's not like you can just turn around. Like, everything's fucked. You gotta make that decision before you start off on your journey. I think we got insanely lucky. Man, you should try living in Winnipeg. No thanks. Get owned. I did get a little annoyed too. We were at the San Diego airport, and I heard a lot of cheering. And I tried to figure out what happened. And then it turns out America scored a goal in the World Cup in their game against Iran. And for like 5 minutes, I was like, ugh, America, relax, okay? Act like you've been there before. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm in the United States right now. I need to chill out. I need to relax. I'm literally at like an American airport, and I'm getting annoyed that they're cheering that their team's doing well in a sporting event. I'm like, we haven't been there before? Excuse me, you've been to the round of 16 before. You played against Ghana, and then Asamoah Gyan pretended to be injured for like 17 minutes after they got a 1-0 lead, and fucking they got 3 minutes of injury time. You think I didn't watch that shit? I watched it. I know all about Landon Donovan. Canada hasn't. Excuse me, we scored a goal this year, apparently. And I don't want to brag, but it was Alphonso Davies, Vancouver's own Alphonso Davies. Didn't score any points, though. That's still, like, you know, you got to pick your battles, right? I mean, like, when I see Denmark play Canada in international hockey, you know, if Denmark loses 12-1, I'm like, oh, shit. Great job, guys. It's better than I would have expected. Thanks, man. You're welcome. It's the most asshole-ish way for me to give you some props, I guess. But why can't Canadians be happy when other countries from North America do well? I think they are. I mean, like, you know, we're not a monolith up here. I would say if you ask, well, the World Cup's always funny because you find out who in Canada has like a Dutch grandfather. Somebody named like Mike Smith, they'll be like, oh yeah, oh I didn't know you're from the Netherlands. You're wearing Netherlands merch to school every day during the World Cup? Yeah, my great grandfather on my great grandmother's side has Dutch heritage, and they're really good this year. So I thought I would just become Dutch for like 2 weeks. But I was like, everybody in Canada, for the most part, wanted Canada to do well. And then probably the second country that most Canadians want to do well, if I had to guess, would be England. And then I would say that they'd be rooting for, like, you know, USA, then probably Mexico, and then, not to be rude, but probably the countries that people forget are North American, like Costa Rica, and I was going to say Ecuador. Sorry. It's definitely South American. France? Yeah, France is pretty popular. But then after that, they root for, like, upsets. So, like, in, you know, Senegal versus France, people will be rooting for Senegal for sure. Portugal's popular. Spain's popular. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. England tied with the U.S. Do you expect them to win? I haven't been following the World Cup at all. Every time I was, like, about to watch soccer on the ship, somebody wearing a sun visor indoors would go up to, like, the bartender and be like, hey, can you put on the college football game? And here's the thing. This is like, I think America's had it too good for too long, man. We're in the middle of the damn ocean. People are like, hey, this isn't the college football game I want to watch. Do you have another random college football game? And the bartender's like, of course, sir. Here you go. You gotta fucking, like, remember what Sheryl Crow said? It's not having what you want, it's wanting what you got. Can't you just be happy that there's, like, any football on TV? You're in the Mexican Riviera right now. It was rivalry weekend, though. Okay, well then don't, you know, travel internationally during rivalry weekend if that's the most important thing in your life. Also, Disney owns ESPN. Yeah, that's true. There was a really long argument between a bunch of guys at the table next to me once, where they were like, I don't understand. The game's on ABC. Disney owns ABC. Why can't they get ABC out here? And I'm like, because you're in the fucking... I mean, I'm not saying, like, I get why you would think that it would be possible, but, like, you're not on land. Like, you're in the sea right now. You should be drinking, like, a ladle full of lemon-flavored water from a fucking communal barrel so you don't get a vitamin deficiency and die on the ship. Like, they have, literally, you walk up to them and you're like, hey, do you have any IPAs? And they're like, yeah, we got 7 different IPAs. In the middle of the damn ocean. Can you just, like, chill out? Just because you can't watch, you know, University of Miami, Ohio versus University of Florida, Ohio. It's crazy, man. How'd you like San Diego? I thought it was okay, but honestly, everyone told us how chill people are in San Diego. And at least, this is just based on driving. While I was driving, I was like, these fuckers would kill me in a heartbeat. Just because I'm driving a damn Chevy Spark, I'm getting no respect on the road here. I'm getting blitzed by people on, like, motorbikes and pickup trucks. Nobody's using their signal lights at all. People are going crazy, dude. Also, I mean, I'm just going to say it because it's going to give me a lot of props. I don't think I could live in a city where you have to drive. Maybe there's parts of San Diego where you don't have to drive, but, like, we absolutely 100% had to drive everywhere. And we were staying close to downtown. It's kind of crazy. And, like, nobody that I talked to thought it was weird at all. Like, I went to, because we have a baby. We were trying to figure out, like, hey, how the heck are we supposed to, we're like, can you take a baby on the bus? They're like, oh, if you want to get around, you got to get a car. Oh, I didn't realize. And then you got to get a car. You can't get a car at the airport. At the airport, you take a shuttle from the hotel to the airport. And then at the airport, you're like, hey, where's the rental cars? They're like, oh, you got to take a shuttle from where the shuttle dropped you off. That'll take you to a huge parking lot where there's like 10,000 cars. And then you're going to get in a car at the rental car. And then you're going to drive your rental car back to your hotel. And then you can use your rental car to drive anywhere you got to go. It's madness, man. I just did this at the San Diego airport last year. It was so easy to rent a car that it's like an indictment of the system. Like I was like, how am I supposed to return this? Where am I supposed to go? When I literally just drove it to the return lot and I was like, here's my car. And they're like, yeah, we know. Go ahead. You're free. Fuck you. Get out of here. You fucking poor ass Chevy Spark. 98 horsepower. Piece of shit, fucking kind of looks like it's supposed to be a 2-door, but they put one fucking half door on the back that you're like, that's not a real fucking door, but it is. Fucking, it's not a hatchback, but it's got like a pseudo trunk in it, and they're like, look, you could put a bag of groceries in this thing, no problem. Yeah, if you put it into sport mode, maybe. Fucking, how did the car seat fit back there? Because I was driving that shit like fucking this the whole time. I had my knees up like this on the highway, just so my baby could like have her legs comfortably in the back seat. Takes a bag, like no problem. That's true. That shit like it easily hauled both of our backpacks without even putting up much of a fight. I don't think I could live. Like Kate and I were talking about it. It's just, and it's not a knock on the city. Like I'm sure there's. Okay, so what I was gonna say is I'm sure there's worse places to live, and like. That's doubtlessly true, but that's not what I mean. Like, San Diego seems nice, but, like, I don't think I could live there. I could, from what I saw in the 2-3 days we were there, I don't think I could live there. Food was great. Weather sucked, but I think that was, like, a unique feature of, like, the couple of days that we were there. When I'm in Seattle, I'm like, I could live in Seattle. When we went to Portland, I was like, I could make some adjustments and live in Portland. When we went to San Francisco, I was like, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between San Francisco and Vancouver. It felt like it was kind of like a lateral move in a positive way. In San Diego, I'm like, I can't live here. It's not just a Pacific Northwest thing. Because when we went to New York, I was like, listen, I don't want to deal with the winter, but I think like culturally speaking, I could handle New York. Then when we went to Boston, I was like, I hate this place. This is the worst. This is the worst major city I've been to. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think it's just like it's like a cultural thing. I wasn't vibing with the culture of New England, where everybody fucking tells you what they think at all times, as if I care who you are. I go to bat for New York, even though I've only been there like 3 times. But New York has like a rap for being impolite, which Vancouver gets as well. It is not impolite. I think it's impolite that you got in my way. Because I'm trying to do, like, my own shit. And then you're, like, you don't know what you're doing. So you're walking like an asshole. And, you know, like, blocking people and taking photos of, like, post offices that are 2 stories tall and stuff like that. Being like, oh, is this, like, a UNESCO World Heritage Site? And I'm like, listen, I'm trying to get to fucking... You know, I'm trying to think of a good brunch place. I'm trying to get the Jam Cafe, okay? Everyone chill. They're not impolite. It's impolite that you're imposing on my time. Can I tell you, like, Twitch, I don't know if there's any wrenches here. I do have a bone to pick with you. I was on vacation. I got 2 emails from Twitch. The first one said, it was like a week after I'd accessed Twitch. It said, chat misses you. With all due respect, you don't think it's like a little bit messed up when I mean, we're talking about an industry where people like work 18 hours a day. I mean, it's an easy job, don't get me wrong, but like they do crazy, they do subathons, everyone's suffering from burnout and like mental health issues and the constant grind to feed the beast. I'm away for a week. You send me an email that's trying to like emotionally blackmail me saying chat misses me. I get that you got a bottom line, okay? It just seemed like, to me, I thought that was a little much. And then they, like 3 days after that, they sent me another one that's like, here's what you've missed while you're gone. And I was like, oh, fucking a bunch of people playing the same shit they always play. Big whoop. Like, I'm coming back. I'm not just like not streaming because I'm like not feeling it. Like, my ass was in Puerto Vallarta. Hey, we missed you. Did we do something wrong? No, I just fucking haven't used your service for a week. Relax. You know what I realized too in the United States? I don't think I can handle owning a gun. I don't own a gun. I understand the myriad cons and the pros as well. But here's the thing, okay? Especially like concealed carry. I've been 20 years. I've been locked in the wallet, phone, keys routine. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Every place I go, tap, tap, tap. We had my car keys in my suitcase. For the whole cruise, I was like, tap, tap. Where's my car keys? Oh, that's right. They're in the suitcase, right? I felt like I was whole again when I got my car keys back and could do tap, tap, tap. I don't think I can handle adding a fourth tap for personal safety or, I don't know, just to intimidate people. Can you, like, I already feel like a little panicked when I'm like, oh shit, where's my wallet? If I was like, oh shit, like, where's my gun? I'm not ready for that. By the way, when I was in the zoo, I was like, there's no way I could beat up a gorilla. That's like, I don't know. I know I said that there was a 5% chance I could beat up a grizzly bear. I don't know what I ever suggested my chances of beating up a gorilla were. Or not beating up, but like beating in combat. It's 0. I'm here to say that it's... If I had said there was even a 1% chance, there was a no. The only way I live is if the gorilla gets bored. Which, maybe that's like a... I mean, I don't think I would put up that much of a fight, so I think there's a reasonable chance that they would get bored. Maybe I'd give myself like a 5% or something like that, you know? Just something reasonable. A meteor could fall, yes, and strike the gorilla. It could just die, right? It could have like a heart attack or something. Probably not, though. His diet is like pure cabbage, man. Like, did you know Coco couldn't actually speak sign language? Dude, so Kate showed me a video of Coco once. I refuse to believe it. Because the video of... I know Coco's the gorilla that supposedly understood sign language. That was like, you know... I want my bear or whatever she said. Like, I want my stuffed animal. The one that Kate showed me was like one of those now today inspirational videos, like where Jerma got his hearing back due to a cochlear implant. But this one was like, you won't believe what the first gorilla who spoke sign or who could do sign language said. And it was like, and then the caption was like, why human kill human? I'm like, that's such bullshit. You think that Coco, the gorilla, has any concept of like world policy? Like, it's probably like, give me some coconuts or something. More coconuts. She wasn't like, why do people hurt other people? Like, dude, were they showing her like the world news in there? But all the comments were like, wow, so inspirational. This is so true. If even the gorilla can understand it, why can't we? Oh, you're this close. What's Bald Brotherhood? Okay, listen. I don't know if the Bald Brotherhood is like a problematic motorcycle gang, but here's the thing. Larry David is not wrong when he says that there is a certain camaraderie amongst balds in public. When we were in Puerto Vallarta, we were in like a resort, like a private beach, and there was just, the server came around and said, what would you like to drink? And I said, I'll take a margarita. And then he said, well, what kind of flavor would you like? We got pineapple, we got strawberry, we got watermelon. I said, it doesn't matter. Surprise me. A bald man appeared out of the ether. He materialized next to the waiter and said, hey, bro, get the pineapple. Trust me. So I'm a friendly guy. I said, you know what? I'll take the pineapple. He said, very de nada, you know? So I don't know. 6 or 7 pineapple margaritas later, I was watching him too. He was walking up to everybody, and he had no sun coverage on at all. He was walking around talking to everybody. He was making conversation about college football, NBA basketball, economics, politics. He was going crazy. And we were like exchanging, you know, knowing nods now and then. Then we got back on like the boat to get back to the other boat. And they were just walking around like pouring people beers in like plastic cups. So I got a beer in a plastic cup. He walked over to me and said, hey, brother, they gave you a tall one. And I said, that's true. And then he just gave me like a, you know, like a nod and then walked away. Like he was like the bald ambassador. He was making best friends with everybody. What's the point of this story? He's bald. Don't say I would suck him. You don't even know. He might have just gotten out of prison. You don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about this guy either. He knew too much about Mexico. It was scary. Dude, I can't tell you how good it feels. No, I want mana. To have finally shaved my head again. Holy cow. Kate'll tell you, I was getting downright self-conscious. You would think having gotten home at, midnight last night, getting up at 7 a.m., I would be like, oh, let's take her easy. Nah, man, as soon as I woke up, felt amazing. I was rocking like a serious beard and skullet combo, man. I didn't even want to go outside. I was wearing my damn baseball hat everywhere. Nobody thought it was a Canadian flag. Everyone thought it was a damn marijuana leaf. First day on the cruise, the server comes up to me and says, hey, man, I like your hat. I say, thank you. He says, I'm from Jamaica, so I get it. I say, what? And then it dawns on me for the next 7 days, this dude's going to think I'm a open marijuana enthusiast on a family-friendly cruise ship. I'm just trying to... It's just the only hat I had, man. Dude, don't hit me with the copium. I was doing the copium myself, okay? I was like, maybe it's just North American solidarity. Thank you. I was doing the copium. I was like, maybe he was like, because we're both from North American countries, he's like, I see that your country is in North America as well. I'm sure he thought, look at this damn pothead. Going to eat dinner with his 2-year-old and his two, 11 and 7-year-old nieces on a ship inhabited by characters from the Mickey Mouse Empire. Has to let everybody know how much he loves cannabis. Tell us about the massages. Kate, you don't understand. You gotta you can't call everything like the blank story. It puts too much pressure on it. Like, what is the story about the massage? I got some massages on the ship. I laid down on a table and they massaged my body. And then they handed me a bill and I went, what? And then I said, okay, that's fine. That's it. That's the whole bit. I got some massages. No, it's not a Disney character that gives you a massage. It's a masseuse. That's my favorite story. There's nothing going on. It's just a massage. The only thing that would, the story about the massage is that I was so self-conscious because I didn't trim, my damn toenails before I went on the cruise. So I got, Ernest Scared Stupid toes and toenails. And then I'm like, it's okay. They probably won't mess around with your feet too much. It's probably mostly, your back and shoulders. And then catch them going... And I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for this masseuse here. And then I saw the 18% auto gratuity, and I was like, I don't feel that bad anymore. Also, no offense, but I was looking at some of the people around me, and I was like, man, honestly, this is probably a treat for them. Not to be like a narcissist, but I was like, there's some people there, I was like, I can only see, what you've chosen to show the world. I bet your feet are fucked up. I bet you got some insane nastiness going on down there. And that's okay. I'm just saying. What about the hot rock story? I'm getting sold out. This is like telling someone you're a comedian. They're going to be like, oh, okay, tell me a joke right now. There's no story. I had a massage where they put some hot rocks on my body. And they were hot rocks. That's the end of the story. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that, I promise. This is the best story yet. It wasn't nothing happened. It was a good story. Was it because I said I was worried the rocks would be so hot I'd look like a domino afterwards? I thought that was a pretty good joke. Tell the couples massage story? Whoops. Kate and I got a couples massage. That's the story. Story? What story? At the end of the massage? I don't know what is this. This is the worst way to tell a story. Yeah, and then it's okay, don't take this the wrong way. This is like when your mom has you talk to your siblings, or not your siblings, but your distant relatives. And you're like, tell them what you did at school last week. And you're like, there was a public speaking contest. Yeah, and what happened? I won. Yeah. What was your speech about? It was about bats. They did after the couples massage. I don't know if you know this. I guess these were the first like physio massages I've ever had. After the massage, they ring a bell. They go, ding, and then the masseuses put my wife and our hands in hand. They had us hold hands at the end of the massage. And then we lounged on a day bed, and they gave us a skewer of tropical fruits and some herbal tea. Don't get me wrong, Kate. The massage was great. And even the foot bath before it was great. The 15-minute jacuzzi time I could have done without. And honestly, they could have just given us the food to go. I didn't need a 15-minute whirlpool time. Even when I had my solo massage, they were like, you got 15 minutes in the jacuzzi? And I was like, okay, I guess I'll go get my phone. Play some damn slice and dice in the whirlpool. Literally just enjoy something. I was enjoying it. I was just having a good time. I feel like all you did was get massages. Listen, I did get 3 fucking massages. By the last massage, I was like, this is too many massages. The first one, I was like, that's nice. The second one, I was like, that was fun. The third one, I was like, I don't need to be here. Tell them about the missing swimsuit. What? Okay, when I went to the solo massage, I didn't realize there was going to be some jacuzzi time associated with it. So they were like, did you bring your swimsuit? And I was like, no. And they said, don't worry, we got disposable ones. And then they gave me like a plastic bag with like a pair of swim trunks made out of garbage bags. And they were like, hop in. Bet you won't forget those again. So good, I'm dying. Was this like a buy 2, get 1 free deal? No, I just had you got a day at sea, you're like, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll get a massage. Why'd you tell us it was so uneventful? It was incredibly uneventful. There was literally nothing that happened. Am I taking crazy pills here? What's the story? I thought you said you were fast at this game now. Yeah, but my life partner is in chat telling me to tell this story over and over. So I don't get any damn momentum. If both of you are here, who's watching the baby? She's at work right now. She's driving the snowplows. Tell the story about kids driving the ship. Okay, on the way back from the private beach at Puerto Vallarta to the cruise ship, we were driving like a motorized catamaran, right? Mexico's crazy. Like I'm used to like in Canada, they're like, hey, like, when you get on an airplane, they're like, you can't use the bathroom at the front if there's a person in it because we're worried you're going to rush the cockpit if 2 people are there. I'm used to that, and that's home to me. In Mexico, I don't know if it's just the tourist stuff, but they were like, it's lawless. So we were driving the catamaran back to the cruise ship, and they were just letting like 3-year-old kids steer the boat and stuff like that. I'm like, this is... how much damage could they do? Probably not much, but at the same time, there hasn't been like one story where they were like, yeah, they let a 2-year-old drive the boat and crashed it and like 4 people died. But they were just loving life. They were playing so much Bruno Mars too, which was like so weird to me. They were going, is it a tourist thing or is it a Mexico thing? Is Mexico in love with Bruno Mars? I guess he's beloved the world over, but everywhere we went, it's like that in Thailand too. Dude, people going crazy for Bruno Mars. Nothing wrong with, Uptown Funk, it's a catchy song. Don't get me wrong. And the one band, I don't know. Oh, well, that was in San Diego. I knew that we were in a bad restaurant in our hotel when, first off, they played Don't Stop Believing. And then they played Any Way You Want It right after it. And then they played Don't Stop Believing. And I was like, holy cow. They played 3 songs by the same artist and 2 of the songs were the same song. You just got the vibe that like this place is not well managed. They can't even get like the playlist in order. Hey, NL, I got nominated for the Pushcart Prize. What is that? Am I about to pushcart my nuts? Is this what you think I haven't been around the block before? Is that like the prize for a guy who will walk his cart back furthest from his car to the lorry depot? It's a real thing. Yeah, but what I'm not suggesting it's fallacious. I'm questioning what it is. I'm too sensitive. Tried to get over it, but you were just plain mean. See ya. What did I do? Do you work at the disposable swimsuit factory? The swimsuit was fine. It just had the consistency of like a recycled Sun Chips bag or something. Oh no. That was the play music guy? That was the guy who called me lazy. He said, I always play music when I play this. You're just lazy. I responded to his personal attack with a joke, and then he hit me with a concern troll. I forgot what it's like off the cruise ship. On the cruise, everyone was like, hello, sir. Nice to see you. Off the cruise ship, everyone's like, fuck you. I noticed, and by the way, this is the way that it should be. I feel more comfortable on the land. On the cruise, every person, like walking from your room to the buffet every morning. Hello, sir. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, sir. How was your night? It was good. Hello, sir. Welcome to the restaurant. Enjoy your breakfast, sir. Sir, can I get you anything? Then we were at the damn Sheraton San Diego. Walk out of my hotel room. There's housekeeping. I say, good morning. They go, like, is it though? Like they're no longer, paid with a mandate to like treat you like a king. Instead, they're just like, you're an impediment to me getting my work done this morning. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm not saying that the staff on the Disney cruise ship are not nice, okay? Like they might be nice people in their downtime as well. What I am saying is I bet in the staff rooms, they fucking go off on people when nobody's listening, as they should. I've never heard them do it, but I've seen some bad behavior, some very entitled behavior. I'm sure when they get into the staff quarters, it's like, you, and then they said, oh, is this a real caipirinha? You used rum. Aren't you supposed to use cachaça? And I was like, oh, you think I'm going to get cachaça out here, you dumb idiot? It's the middle of the Pacific Ocean, you stupid moron. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. What is this? What is this? Is that a gamer muscle? Do you only get that muscle if you're a gamer? Or if you're like a baker or something? What's going on with... Is that normal? I don't know what's going on with that. I don't have great grip strength. That is not from like grip strength. That's got to be from like holding an Xbox controller. Slash marker. Sporcle. Gen Z, pay attention. I showed my 11-year-old son the Eldritch runes of cursive writing, and they couldn't figure it out. I told them I'd buy them a PlayStation 5 if they could figure out how to use a rotary telephone, and those idiots couldn't even figure it out. Kids these days will never understand. We spent like 10 years learning this alphabet because they told us, in college, you need to learn how to do cursive writing because it's 2% faster than printing. And your professor talks so fast, they're like Twista in Overnight Celebrity. Then, like 1995, the Lenovo ThinkPad comes out and the rest is damn history. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what that is. I think it's a Q. Nope. That's an H. That's a Q. That's an E. That's a K. That's a P. Come on. That's a D. I can't believe I got one wrong. That's an F. That's an E. That's an H. That's an F. That's a W. It's an M. It's a G. That's an X. That's a B. That's a it's a T. Chad, what's your favorite cursive letter to write? And let me tell you. Oh, I gotta go faster. You know what the worst one is? Lowercase b is the worst one to write for sure. Lowercase b is insanely annoying. S is kind of annoying too. Like, why did they do S like that? Don't even get me started on big S. That's O. And R. What the hell's wrong with R, dude? That's not R. It's a freaking pi. It's a pi symbol. That's a B. What did they do to my boy B? 2? You capital B? that's Q apparently. P. Y. I got 92%. Dude, cursive is so stupid, but that quiz is so funny. I got 4 wrong? What a waste of time second grade was. Ever tell you in ninth? First off, 2 stories that are related to this. A classmate of mine was reprimanded in second grade because we had to do cursive writing practice. We had to do like draw 20 T's, right? She just did 20 L's, took a ruler, and then drew a line through them all. The teacher like brought her up in front of the whole class and said, "This is cheating. That's not how you do cursive writing." Honestly, now she's probably like a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. Second story about school being annoying. In 9th grade, I typed at 110 words per minute. I got a 72 in computer class, which at the time was basically typing class. My teacher's justification, no matter how hard I try, I can't get him to use the home row. Eat shit. That teacher's probably dead now. Yes, yeah, I mean, that was like the year 2002. So you may be right. At the time, he was like in his 60s. And all he did all class, he would do like a 5-minute lecture and then check his Hotmail account for the rest of the day. We played so much addictinggames.com. Speaking of 1940s cartoon characters, I was wearing my Disney Cruise shirt off boat when I was on land in San Diego. I went to a store. A lady said to me, "Great shirt." I said, "Thank you." She said, "Only problem, there's no Goofy on it." And then we looked at it for a minute and she said, "Oh, wait, there's a Goofy right there." Then she said, "I love Goofy. I actually own over 2,000 pieces of merchandise with Goofy on them." And I said, "Wow, that's a lot." And then she said, "Yeah, they're hard to find because I don't like ones where he's like with other characters. I only like ones where he's by himself." And I was like, "All right. You do you. Don't get me wrong." But like, she seemed very nice, but that was where the conversation ended. I'm in trouble, man. What the hell is Macarena? "Baby, I got your number and I know that you got mine, but you know that I called you, I called too many times." It could be that. "Baby, seems like we never ever agree. You like the movies and I like the TV. Did I disappoint you or leave a bad taste in your mouth? I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style, and so I came to see him and listen for a while. Now I believe in miracles and miracles. So come on over, baby. Come on, baby. Come on over. Let me be the one to show you. They all want me. They can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me." And I don't know, man. One of these is the Macarena. I think of the Macarena, it's got to be, "Come on, baby. Come on over. Let me be the one to show you. They all want me. They can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me." That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. "I heard he had a good song and I heard he had a style, and so I came to see him and to listen for a while." Now, I believe in miracles and miracles happen tonight. I'll make love to you. So come on, let me be the one to show you. I'll make love to you. They all want me, they can't have me. Macarena. Thinking of the day when you went away, what a life to take, killing me softly. Dude, that was impossible. Why are you singing everything like 1 week? Because I'm from Ontario, man. Exit. I don't know why the lyrics are so funny when they're just typed out with exclamation marks. Exit light. Enter night. Take my hand. Off to Never Never Land. Like, it's written so weird. This place is old. It feels just like a beat up truck. I turn the engine. No. Now that there's less, my brain's working better. This place is old. It feels just like a beat up truck. I turn the engine, but the engine doesn't turn. Hey, that like that. Come on, park together. We got windy weather. To see the ones we hurt are you and me. And that's all I want to do. I only want to be with. Sometimes you're crazy and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, yeah. The dolphins make me cry. Sometimes you're crazy and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, yeah. The dolphins make me cry. There's nothing I can do. There we go. Okay. I feel like this is fucked up. So all I want to do is Sheryl Crow. It's phrasing, but hear me out here. All I want to do is have some fun. This ain't no disco. It ain't no country club either. This is LA. Tell me, why are we so blind? There's no way in all I want to do is have some fun. Sheryl Crow says, tell me, why are we so blind to see the ones we hurt are you and me? It's that simple. Honestly, if Sheryl Crow is in LA, you can catch my ass in San Diego. That's all I'm going to say. It's the monologue at the beginning? The monologue at the beginning of Gangster's Paradise. I was like, I don't think all I want to do is it starts with a spoken word part. No, really? There's a monologue at the start of all I want to do is have some fun? I gotta go inside of like the last Blockbuster or like an Albertsons or something so I could hear this song again. That was the chorus of Gangster's Paradise. I'm not ashamed to admit, maybe I'm a little ashamed to admit, I have probably heard Amish Paradise more than Gangster's Paradise. I think Gangster's Paradise is a good song. But just, I listened to Bad Hair Day or whatever the Weird Al album is called probably like 100 times as a kid. Yes, as I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain. That's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know we shun fancy things like electricity. I don't remember I don't remember the whole thing. I ain't ever punched a tourist even if he deserved it. An Amish with a tood, you know that's unheard of. But I keep something and something so long that even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. I'm a man with a plan, I'm into discipline. Got the Bible in my hand and a beard. Apparently I do remember the whole thing. She replied with 8 zeros followed by yes. All right. I'll send you over there. I'll be live tomorrow. What am I going to do for lunch, man? It's a freaking winter wonderland out there. Sorry, I got a coat. Do you have to like shovel the sidewalk, or is that something like someone just does for you? Is there like somebody, does the city pay someone to... You do? Son of a bitch. Really? It looks like people kind of shoveled it for me just by like walking by. Like their shoes shoveled it for me, you know what I mean? Yes, as I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain. That's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know we shun fancy things like electricity. I don't remember I don't remember the whole thing. I ain't ever punched a tourist even if he deserved it. An Amish with a tood, you know that's unheard of. But I keep something and something so long that even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. I'm a man with a plan, I'm into discipline. Got the Bible in my hand and a beard. Apparently I do remember the whole thing.